Ready.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
And you are back with Rebekah, Natta.com. This is our fifth
Yes.
podcast. We have a very special guest with us today. We have Mr. Adam Hendershott.
Well, hello.
Hi. Thanks for coming on.
Do you like my low sexy radio podcast voice?
It's actually quite nice.
All right.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get home and listen to this in stereo.
Ooh.
So first off, I want to congratulate Adam. Adam has a 2-day-old baby girl.
I do. Ava Rose Hendershott.
Ava Rose Hendershott. Beautiful name.
She's very beautiful.
Yeah.
She weighs about 7 pounds.
She weighs about 7 pounds. She's 19 inches long, got a full head of hair, and a gorgeous little face.
Great. Looks just like her mama.
Yep.
It has a low, sexy radio voice.
She will.
Wow. So a couple of things about Adam. Adam is a former Hollywood child star.
Not star, just actor.
Hollywood child act, but you were successful.
I did quite a few things, but never anything that like people would go, "Oh my God, you're that guy from that. You're Adam Hendershott." You know, like, "Oh, you're Tom Hanks." They just go, "Oh man, you're that kid from that thing."
Right.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was never that kid from that thing.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
I'm still not that adult from that thing either. Anything of note that you want to talk about? Like, you did some movies, I know.
Oh man, when I was a kid, I did everything from pilots to commercials to print ads to a few movies, and then I just did a ton of guest stars on television shows. On like every popular television show when I was a kid, I did a guest star on it, like Doogie Howser and yep, that was my first job when I was 6 years old.
Do you still talk to Neil?
No, I don't.
No.
No, I actually met him. I met him last year with him and his husband and his little kid. He's got a pretty cute kid too.
Yeah. Did he remember you?
Oh, absolutely not.
No. Okay. And I know you did.
He said, yeah, you're that kid from that thing.
You're that kid from that thing.
It's awesome.
Man. And I know you did some stuff as a teenager.
I did. Yeah, like shows like Charmed and Gilmore Girls and Veronica Mars. I actually had someone recognize me from, like, 2 people recognize me from Veronica Mars the other day.
Those are good shows.
That was pretty crazy.
And my favorite Adam moment is from
Nip Tuck, I'm sure.
the Nip Tuck episode. I mean, a lot of the guys like that one.
Yep.
So Rebekah doesn't know about the Nip Tuck episode.
I did an episode of Nip Tuck where I was a college student who they were doing in a fraternity, and I had to have 2 guys' faces glued to each one of my butt cheeks. Yeah, with like industrial strength glue, and then they couldn't get them off. So then that's where Nip Tuck comes in. They had to call in the surgeons to surgically remove these 2 guys from each one of my butt cheeks.
Oh my gosh.
And it wasn't like, it wasn't like one of these parts that I get where you miss it if you are not focused. It was full on for 38 minutes
Oh, yeah.
of a 44-minute show.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty much Adam's ass.
They did not hold back.
2 faces stuck to each cheek.
They were one of them was making their TV debut too. It was like, this is his first part on television. He was glued to my butt.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Tune in, Mom.
And they were like, yeah, exactly. They were like begging me not to like have burritos and stuff the night before.
Did you have burritos?
I did not.
Okay.
I remember I was like, yeah, I can't eat anything that's gonna make me gassy whatsoever.
So I remember I've known Adam for, I guess, like at least 8 years now.
Yeah.
And Adam went from being a child star to a photographer.
Yep.
And which we'll talk to in a little bit. But we're talking about your youth. Did you participate in sports? When I was a little kid, I played a lot of soccer, and then when I went to high school, I played high school football. Right, because I've seen the picture with the plaque and the photo of you taking the knee.
I was svelte.
Yeah, you looked pretty good.
Yeah, I did.
And you were really good shape. I
actually attribute my being short to lifting too many weights when I was that age, because man, I was so strong. and I was taking like creatine, and they were pumping all kinds of things into me when I was that age.
What
I was
age?
like 14.
Oh, 14.
I was 14, and so I was just like, I was still developing, and I was lifting so much.
Really?
So much.
Were you lifting for you?
Football.
Or the coaches were telling you to lift?
The coaches.
Wow.
Coaches.
I mean, well, the coaches are
The
just...
girls.
Right.
Yeah.
They're encouraging you to get as strong as possible so that you can be big for the football team.
Right.
I think when you're a 14-year-old guy, you either lift, play guitar, or play soccer.
That's right.
I don't know.
Anything to get laid.
Yeah. Well, I guess so.
Yeah.
14.
14. And
Well, that's when it first gets on the radar, I think.
so you were working out. Now, I remember you did some sort of TV show where you were in a locker room and you had your shirt off.
Oh, yeah. What show was that? Man, I forget what that was, but it was like... I forget what the name of that show was.
Good.
But I remember I played like a killer. And I killed one of my teammates or something so that I could get the top varsity spot.
You do what you got to do.
Exactly.
I remember that scene because I think I had just met you,
Yeah.
and not to say you're a little heavier when I met you, but in this particular episode you had like all 12 abs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was working out hardcore to get that.
Yeah, you had jawline.
Yep. No sugar, no flour in my diet. I would run like 7 miles a day.
Wow.
Man, I was on top of things.
Right.
And how long were you at that point for?
Maybe for about a year, and then I actually got melanoma on my back, and then I had to have a surgery where I was just like out of commission, and I just started and then I couldn't exercise at all, and I was just being taken care of, and I was just eating crap, and then just got out of my habits, and then just started going downhill.
Now, how long ago was that?
That's when I was 19, so I'm 31, so I don't know, 12 years ago.
So about with melanoma, it sort of took you out of your routine and sent you in this. Are you gonna pop a pimple on your shoulder?
I think so. Wait, no, it's on my arm.
Really?
Yeah. No, we're good. I got it.
You're gonna wipe that down off the windshield there?
I'm a picker.
Okay, quit.
Sorry, grossing you out.
No, actually, we talked about pimples, I believe. Pimple popping in the first
We talked
podcast.
about farting and pimples, and I'm not surprised of anything these days.
Yeah.
No.
Nothing's off the table.
No,
Not
not at all.
Especially with you.
Gotta get them when they're bugging you.
So about 19 years old, you fell ill. You stopped hitting the weights as hard, and then is this when?
I mean, all through childhood, I didn't have like a really good, I don't know, like health education. Mm-hmm. My grandparents were both overweight. My mom was in pretty good shape, but I mean, no one like had a good base knowledge of like and steady routine of healthy eating.
Right.
It was either like it was always going back and forth with eating really healthy and trying to lose weight, or just eating whatever the hell you want and going to McDonald's and eating.
So there's no consistency.
None at all.
Okay, there's no
None
balance. Yeah.
So yeah, growing up, I would either like get real chubby and then bring it down, and then I'd be looking good, and then would go, okay, well then I can eat whatever I want now, and then I would eat whatever I want, and it would just be like a roller coaster back and forth. Yeah.
Okay.
So your inconsistent diet
Yeah.
led to some weight gain.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
just
I'm probably as heavy as I've ever been.
Okay.
I'm like 250, 260, something like that. I've been afraid of the scale. I haven't even stepped on the scale probably in like months.
But you put your wife on the scale to see how many pounds she had put on.
Well, that was her idea, okay? Because it was a good idea to, when you have the baby in your belly, right before you leave for the hospital, you take a picture, you stand on the scale and take a picture, then when you come home, see how much weight you lost.
But you didn't take a picture of you before you went to the hospital with her and you came back.
No, I stay away from the camera as much as possible. Okay. And being in front of the camera, that is.
So you saying 250, 260. Usually when people say, between like 170, 175, I always take like the latter, the higher number is usually the closest number.
Sure.
You feel closer to 260?
Probably.
You're like what, 5?
That's what I feel.
5'8", 5'9", 5'10"?
Yeah.
5'8"?
5'8".
And just so that people get a perspective, when you were in that locker room as the murderous kid,
Yeah.
what do you think you weighed then?
155.
So you think you've gained 100 pounds in 11, 12 years?
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And if you haven't gotten around to it, we had a podcast on me, and I gotta say, somewhere I'm down around 70 pounds from my heaviest is 236, and I'm about like bounce between 170, 175.
Yeah. That's good fighting weight though. I mean, when I was doing that show, I was training really hard, and I was like almost too skinny. Mm-hmm. That was too much for me. So my perfect weight is probably between 170 and 180.
Okay.
Yeah, but you had that sexy line that went right down into your pelvis, and
I know, that's what I needed the girls, so I needed to have that as fast as I could.
You know, they should have made your character a swimmer.
Yeah.
I wanted to see you in a Speedo.
Hell yeah. It's cold in those things, man. I don't want to be in a Speedo. It's on camera.
I got out of the pool. So 100 pounds in 10 years, that's like an average of, let's say, 10 pounds a year. And as you graduated from high school, what changed in your day-to-day activity or lack of activity that...
I mean, I got married.
Women.
No.
I mean, I hate blaming it on my wife, but I mean, I did get comfortable, you know? I didn't feel the need to like be impressing all the girls out there.
Yeah,
so I mean, it was a pretty strong force that I had keeping me motivated to impress women. And then when I got married, you know, you let it go a little bit.
Or 100 pounds.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And is it your routine, your schedule? What do you think is the biggest factor that's gone into...
It's a lot of things. I mean, it's the habits that I've developed my whole life that that haven't benefited me, and mixed with I don't really like to cook. So unless it's like for an occasion or something, or I'm trying to like do something really special, but I mean, I don't like to cook for myself really. So we would go out a lot because Sylvia doesn't really like to cook either, and then
that's a big one.
And then a lot of the times I'm busy,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm artistic, and I'm always trying to think of the next thing that I'm doing, and then when I get involved in it, I don't want to stop. So then I get hungry, and then I'll just binge eat anything I can to keep me sustained for as long as possible, because I just need to not be hungry. You know, so it's not like I'm just like so hungry all the time and I'm just constantly feeding myself sweets and everything. It's really just like anything I can get my hands on, and as much of it as possible, so
at
that
the moment where you're finally starving.
Exactly.
That's exactly what Andy does.
Yeah.
This is something that we talked about in the second podcast.
This is something that happened to me just
today.
before I came over.
Before he came over, he eats really healthy and really well, but when he's busy, or he's like, you know, he's an artistic guy as well, and when he gets in the mood for this or that, and he's going, he forgets to eat.
Yep.
And then next thing you hear is like all these like bags and cabinet doors opening and slamming, and then he's got like bread in this hand, and he's got like something else in this hand, and then like I'm like, all right, I'm like watching him eat, and then like he'll go back in the kitchen and like go get more, and I'm like, hey man, like chill out on the bread.
Yep.
You just ate like 5 sandwiches. And he's like, I'm starving. I'm like, that's because you didn't give your stomach enough time to like give the signal to your brain like, hey, I'm freaking full.
Yep.
Well,
you know,
it wasn't 5 sandwiches. I think it was 3.
and other things.
Yeah.
I had. I'll tell you exactly what I had. I'll come clean. I had. I walked in. I had 2 eggs and rice.
2 eggs and rice.
Brown rice. And then I took a slice of bread, 2 slices of bread. I put some turkey and ketchup.
Right.
And then I grabbed 2 more slices of bread, and then I
just put like ketchup.
Just put ketchup on it.
And then he took a tortilla or 2.
And then I had a couple of just plain tortillas.
You had 3 tortillas.
Did I have 3?
You like rolled 2 up, and then you ate another one.
I had a couple tortillas.
I mean,
yeah, carbohydrates are the most filling things.
Yeah, well,
proteins technically, but carbohydrates, they spike your glycemic levels. They put you in a good mood.
Exactly.
Yeah. And what else did I have? Was that it?
No, didn't you make something else for the road? I
had a bagel.
Did you?
I had a bagel while I know.
I didn't even know that. He
did come clean. He did come clean.
I had a bagel, and then but we were rushing.
This is all within 15 minutes, people. Okay, so this is try not to do that. I always say, and this is the best thing to do is like no matter what, have something for breakfast, because if you do that, it wakes up your digestive system, it gets things going, and you're going to burn off, most likely you're going to burn off those carbs, whatever you ate in the morning. And, whenever it's lunchtime and dinner, if you can't do that, like, just find ways to eat little snacks in between, because you end up, splurging all within, like, 10 minutes, and then you're still hungry because you do it so fast,
Well, what I've found, like, when I've been the most successful with dieting or whatever, like, I hate the word diet because it's like the fad thing, but when I have dieted before, when I've been the most successful is when I've set timers for myself.
Okay, yeah.
So, like, yeah. I'll just, like, I won't even be hungry, and the timer will go off, and like I'll
every
just...
every 2 or 3 hours.
Exactly, 2 to 3 hours.
And just a little something.
It'll just keep me sustained throughout the day, and then
that's good.
I'm able to not ever get those crazy hunger pains.
So do you do that now, or you don't?
I don't.
Oh, you should do that. That's a really good idea, because what it does is it just kind of resets your body and, like, reprograms, and then pretty soon enough you don't really need that timer.
Totally.
That definitely works. I like that.
Scheduling is really tough with you.
Yeah.
Getting to see you to even do this podcast, the reason I was rushing and binge eating was because Adam said he had a little bit of time today. And, everything else.
It's all my fault.
Everything else just kind of stopped.
He's got to blame somebody.
Sure.
So, scheduling. I'm always curious, why is it so hard to schedule exercise for people? Why doesn't it make the calendar or the list of things to do like anything else would that was a matter of importance?
It's just habits, man. I mean, when things become important to you and they're important enough, then it's not that hard to schedule, you know? But when they become a priority in your life, then it's not hard to schedule at all.
So how do we get you to schedule? By the way, the car turns on and off.
Yeah, you hear
I've just never sat idle in a Prius for this long.
Yeah.
Yeah, we came to Adam and we're sitting in his car because it has good sound.
For a little while
but then the engine turns on and it reminds you that, hey, you're in a Prius. Yeah.
It'll shut off in a second.
I know, but he sort of reminds you like he's here. Like
we
haven't talked to the car in a while, and he's like, "Boom, I'm here." Toyota Prius. Yes. So what were you gonna ask?
You were talking about his
scheduling.
So you're saying at this moment in your life, or maybe even for the last 10 years, working out and exercise or being active in that type of way hasn't really been a priority.
Right, because he's got a wife.
Yeah, exactly.
Blame it on
got a wife, I got a job, and now I have a baby.
Right.
So I mean, I definitely know that it should be a priority. It's just like it's one of those things that it feels like a chore.
Yes.
So
I think a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah. So it's not like something that I do so often anymore. Because when I used to do it all the time, it was actually something that I started looking forward to. That just like it was just something I did, and then I had a great time doing once I was doing it. But now it seems like the idea of going to do it seems like, oh man, I just know I'm going to be exhausted afterwards, and it's going to take so much out of me for the next few days, and then I'm going to be sore, and then I just start thinking about all the negative things about it, and then it just becomes like a thing that I'm kind of dreading to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
What I was going to say was, I mean, it's like that for everybody.
Yeah.
Andy and I have both fallen out of having working out and exercising being a priority, and we both had gained weight, and we got to the point, and I don't know if you've ever been at the point where you're like, I really, really, really want to feel better. I want to have more energy. I want to be able to sleep better. I want to get more done in the day.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to make working out a priority for me, even if it's just 20 minutes.
Yeah. And now, I mean, I've got an extra layer on that. I got a kid I want to be able to run around with when the time comes. Yeah.
So
I want to stay around for my little girl as long as possible.
So right now you'd say maybe you're at the point where you're like, okay, maybe, because obviously having this little girl come into your life now changes everything.
Totally.
And I'm sure you have all these different mixed emotions and feelings and things you're wanting to do and things you want to do.
Sure.
Is one of those at this point right now maybe getting a little more physically active and getting a little healthier.
Absolutely.
With your food intake and with just exercising.
Yeah, I mean the stress level gets a little upped as well, and I remember I mean another thing that's positive about it is I remember it being a good like stress reliever. You know, it's one of those things that just kind of like gets you feeling like you can get it all out.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
The thing I always liked about exercising, especially getting it done early in the morning, is that no matter what crap the rest of the day presents you, like you can have a really bad rest of the day, but if I got to exercise or worked out in my house or went for a jog or swam now that I'm been swimming, that can't be taken away from you, and at least you have that one positive.
You still feel like accomplished.
I did that.
Yeah.
You know, while the water's getting warm and the shower's running, I can look in the mirror and I can like flex.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That's very true. I like that no matter what happens for the rest of the day, you can feel good that you did something good for yourself and now good for, your wife and your daughter and your future.
Totally.
I like that.
Oh, I'll coin that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So now that you have Ava, your schedule's probably just going to get more complicated.
Sure.
What are your expectations? Have you started like thinking about like some sort of game plan? What you want to do to maybe at least, the food part is always the hardest part.
Yeah.
But like, I've been talking to you. I would call you. We would train and I'd come over and work you out. And I'm like, dude, while the water's warming up in the shower, can you just drop down and do 10 push-ups?
Right, yeah. I do have a little bit of a game plan. I have another buddy that is sponsored by Garden of Life. You ever heard of that company?
No.
I don't think so.
It's they're like raw organic, like protein and like a total all the supplements. They do all the supplements.
Okay.
And they're supposed to be like top of the line. So they he wants to have me start drinking shakes throughout the day and like really easy, convenient ones to make.
Right.
And he's like, dude, even if you just drank 3 of these a day and walked for a mile a day or something, or for 20 minutes a day or something, you will lose weight.
Right.
So I was like, you know what? I mean, that sounds convenient enough that I don't have to like cook myself something. I mean, I still have to supplement it with real food.
Right.
Of course.
But if I can,
like a snack, you could do one of those shakes for a snack, or you can do it for maybe lunch or breakfast.
Yeah, like one meal replacement.
Yeah, exactly. I do that.
So that would take some stress off my plate and probably put me in a little bit of a habit that I'd be able to at least start to
maintain.
Start losing some weight without putting a ton of energy into it.
And that's the thing, is like the energy anyway. I mean, it doesn't have to take a ton of energy. I think that it feels that way at the beginning.
Yeah.
Because it is so hard to kind of get back up and accomplish something that feels so challenging because you haven't done it in so long. But if you're consistent, and it's always like this for me, that you have to be consistent in what you want. And if it comes to working out and you haven't worked out in a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and you've put on, 100 pounds or 50 pounds, it's going to take a few days, a few weeks, maybe even a few months to really start getting like that energy. You might be a little tired, but just within a few weeks or a few months, you're going to feel like a whole different person. You're going to have that energy. You're going to be able to go longer, go stronger. And
go longer, go stronger.
It's
name of your sex tape.
No, but yeah, you be able to go longer and stronger. I'm gonna repeat that. It's true.
I remember when I was a kid and I was like, when I got to the 236, I went to go see a doctor, and I was like, how long is it gonna take for me to lose the weight? And he said to me, how long did it take you to put it on? Mm-hmm. And I don't know, maybe a year. And he goes, well, if it took you a year to put it on, it's probably gonna take you a year to take it off.
Do you think it's gonna take me 10 years to get rid of this?
So.
Well,
I don't think so.
I think though what happened is, I've been on my journey for 18 years maybe now, and every year I could pretty much start breaking it down by the year, and definitely like the decade, and tell you like I spent the early part of my 20s, weighing 210. And then like the late 20s, 205. And then like, you know, my early 30s, and I got under like 197. And then, you know, heading in a positive direction. Just the other day, I was telling her, I was like, you know, I think over the next, like, you know, I'm going to drop down to 170-ish. And she was, you know, which is about 5 pounds. And she's like, well, you're going to do this, this, and that in the next month, this and this. And I said, no, I go, but I'm just talking about like by the end of the year, like if January 1st, I'm losing 5 pounds, it's good, because all those habits that it takes to make long-term changes take time.
Yeah.
And like you and I like to drink beer.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's okay. Like, I love beer, I love ice cream, I love pizza, I love all those things.
Yeah.
But I just make sure I don't get into the habit of doing it every day or even every week. Because I like to I like to feel good. If I'm feeling heavy and I'm feeling bloated and I don't have a lot of energy, I know I'm doing something wrong. And so it's really a mental thing. If you can fight it mentally, I mean, the physical part, it's fairly easy. It's just getting into some type of routine.
Did you have
trouble?
The seat warmer.
I was sitting here going, man, I have my ass is starting to like sweat.
Yep, I'm sweating. I'm sweating you out of this, buddy.
Is your ass warmer on too?
No.
Man, I was like, it's hot. I'm like,
Still
like sitting there. I was gonna like, am I gonna faint? No, you had the seat warmers on. Thanks, Adam.
No problem, man.
So, all right. So you're gonna work on the diet part of it. Now, what about the exercising? Now, you know that YouTube at Rebekah Van Natta, we've been putting up these 12-minute workout videos.
Yep. And
my mom, who is probably like the most consistent viewer, is actually...
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah. Well, probably the only one listening, too. She's been doing the workouts, and my sister's been doing the workout. Who else? We've had some close friends and family
a couple different friends of mine have been doing it on their lunch break.
Yeah. At the office.
15-20 minutes, they have a lunch break, and they all do the workout together.
Wow.
And I know you have a smartphone.
I do.
You can stream YouTube. Do the kids smartphone?
Do the kids say that these days?
Do the kids still say smartphone these days? Perf.
Totes.
Dude, you're so cray.
Yeah, so cray.
OMG.
So what do you think about...
Keep talking, Bay.
What is that one?
It's like babe.
Yeah.
Bay.
Okay, babe.
Bay. It's B-A-E. I think it stands for something.
Like babe.
Yeah.
Babe.
Pretty much we're just going to start like dropping, like, I don't know. What's up, da?
Totes.
What's up, da?
Da.
Toe.
Totes. Like totally.
Yeah, no, I
totes.
get it.
It's weird.
You. Can you imagine, like, there's this entire language of shorthand that, like, you know, like, people went to, like, college to learn this, like, shorthand, and now it's a hashtag.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
So, exercising. You work out when?
When? I mean, I'm going to start getting up earlier in the morning now because I kind of have to.
Right.
You know, so I would say earlier in the morning.
You okay?
No. Are you gonna start? I mean, for most people that don't work out consistently, going on a walk in the morning, maybe like for a 30-minute, you know, fast walk, or even 15 minutes.
Totally.
You
I
know,
got a treadmill in my. I
Nice.
just got a treadmill in the back room too.
Nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
30-minute walk.
Yeah.
I know you're a busy guy. You got a cell phone. You got the earbuds.
Hell yeah.
You can be that guy.
Totally.
Walk around the neighborhood with your earbuds on.
Well, I got a baby too that I can take around with me.
And
There
you could
you go.
and you're gonna be the dad with the stroller.
That's it.
There you go.
Chicks love that.
They do.
We do.
They do.
Aw.
Oh, look at him. Please.
What a good daddy.
Still, my wife likes that too.
Yeah.
Well,
There you
know,
go.
it's nice though, because you see like the moms in the neighborhood, you become part of the club.
Totally.
You're the dad with the baby, and they're like,
You're in the dad club.
Yeah. You know, and then what happens is you'll meet other dads.
Yeah, you will.
And then you're in the dad club, and hopefully you'll meet some dads that are healthy dads.
Oh, yeah.
If you see other dads walking their kids in the morning, those are probably dads you want to hang out with.
Nice.
So look out for those dads. Then they have like the jog strollers. Then you want to hang out with those dads.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we're talking, you're going to change your diet.
Yeah.
You're going to work on the exercising.
Mhm.
What about the goals? Do you have any goals that you're like, what's in the mind?
I'm not like super goal like motivated either. Like when I hit my goals in the past, like I tend to just go, okay, well I hit my goal, so now I can relax.
So what helps you
I really
stay focused with
just habits. I just really just want. I mean, if I had a goal, it would just be that I did not to have any goals, but other than to be just healthy all the time.
That's great. Yeah. That's great.
Well, since we're probably going to talk to you again, or at least you're around, if you would mind sharing with us, is there one thing that's been bugging you that you have not committed to getting rid of yet, that you might be able to say live, right here, right now, and share with the world, saying, I'm going to stop eating those Newman's Own chocolate chip cookies?
Hey, they're organic.
Those are organic.
I
mean, there are worse things out there.
And they're good.
I read the ingredients.
And I really appreciate you telling me to wait in the kitchen, because the bag was right there, and I had 4 of them.
Yep.
But really, seriously, for me, it's always been like one thing. What's one thing for you? What can we start with? Something simple, not beer.
I was just about to say beer.
No, don't tell me beer, because that's unrealistic for you. Really,
it's not.
It's not. It's not for him. Maybe for you.
You're gonna give up the IPA. I could just see something happening with the headshot truck and the guys coming out and saying,
what does it mean to give it up, though? I mean, like, forever? Like, I'm never going to have another beer?
No, but I mean, but like, something, a change that you can make. I don't know. If you feel like you're compelled to give up beer, then give up beer. But I'm like sitting here as your friend, looking at you.
I don't think it's about giving up something. I think it's about what is it that you can cut back on? Yeah. That you can see yourself in the future being able to enjoy. And
you don't drink a lot of beer, though, like that, to say, like, when was the last time you had a beer?
The day after Ava was born, because somebody brought it.
Somebody brought it.
Yeah, as a little celebration.
Right.
Yeah.
Lots of celebrations. What consistently goes
every time I see you, I go have a beer.
That is true.
So maybe I could proclaim that every time I see you, I will cut back on having a beer.
Well, like maybe like sugar, like processed sugars. Or...
You know what? I really don't want to say like I'm not gonna do such and such, and I'm not gonna do this, because that's another thing too that is kind of a trigger for me. Is like if I say I'm never gonna do this again, or you don't
have to say never do it again,
or I'm gonna cut back on such and such, then I'm kind of fixated on that thing. So I feel like if I just say, all right, I'm gonna be more mindful of what I'm putting in my body, and about my scheduling, and about preparing what I need to eat, so that I don't just grab anything that comes to me or that is in my vicinity when I'm like crazy starving, then that is always helpful. So I mean, I'll proclaim that I'm going to start setting timers so that I'll become more aware of what I'm eating, so I can prepare for these things.
Yeah, and be aware of, have I eaten today? I haven't, and that timer goes off. Right.
But I mean, I also hate the idea of like beating myself up for having a beer, or for having pizza, or for having any of those things, because it's just like then I start beating myself up, and it's kind of becomes like this terrible negative thing that then like all that does is make me more depressed, and then the next time I'm like, well, screw it, I did it last time and I beat myself up, and now the only thing that makes me feel better is eating more of that stuff.
Right.
So
nothing
like a good old-fashioned self-ass kicking.
Yeah, exactly. It sucks. So I mean, I want to proclaim that I'm gonna be nicer to myself.
Yeah.
You're gonna look. Oh, the Prius is here.
Yep, Prius came back.
I think that's great. I think that is super positive, and it is definitely something you can accomplish, and it'll become your lifestyle. Yeah. And that's all I've ever wanted to like help people with, is find how to live a healthier lifestyle and do it naturally, not like force it, not try to take everything you love out, because you're not living then. You got to be able to live life and enjoy life. Yeah. And you have to be mindful of what you're putting into your body, because it's going to affect you down the road. Totally. If it doesn't affect you now or in 5 years, it's going to affect you later on in life.
Totally. So I proclaim that I will absolutely start creating better habits for myself.
I love that. Okay. I mean, we should check back in with Adam and have him on the podcast in a couple months and see how all that's going.
You're going to walk around the block today?
Sure.
You want to walk together?
But if I don't, I'm not going to beat myself up about it.
No, I know, but you know what? This is what I say. Walk to the liquor store.
Yeah.
Walk
to get a beer.
Walk to get a beer. You would be surprised. Like, if you walk to get a beer, it's like if you walked, a half mile and bought like a 6-pack and walked a half mile back home to have it, you've just walked a mile. Yeah. And you have that one beer, and it's like a rewarding.
Yeah.
beer.
Well, tomorrow our pediatrician's actually like
go
a couple miles away, and we were like, you know what? Let's not drive there because we have a stroller, we got a baby. Let's wake up early and take the nice stroll over there.
Let's be that family.
Absolutely.
What are you guys doing today? We're walking the baby over to her first pediatrician appointment. That's very sweet.
That's great.
That's great. I want to talk a little bit about the headshot truck.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because you're wearing the shirt.
Yep.
And they can't see the shirt on the radio.
Yeah.
We'll take a picture.
What's the headshot truck?
The headshot truck is a mobile photography studio that I created to gear towards actors' headshots. But then we started branching out to corporate headshots, to parties, to pet portraits, to engagement sessions. I mean, since it's a mobile photography studio that's completely self-contained, I mean, we can do it all. But actors' headshots, since I used to be an actor, that's what I was most comfortable with, shooting and training people to shoot right off the bat.
Wow.
So if I want to take a picture on the headshot truck, I just drive over to it and take a picture in it?
Nope. You go to www.theheadshottruck.com.
Right.
And look at our packages and pick the one that's right for you, and then pay for it, and then our manager and what is it? Yeah, he's our manager. He's my co-partner for the truck as well. We'll contact you and schedule your session.
Right, but what I'm saying is, do you drive to the truck, or
There's a few different ways we do it. There's, for headshots specifically, we have one package where the truck actually comes to you, wherever you are. If you're at an apartment, or if you're at a house, if you're at your family's house, whatever. Well, you tell us where to go and we'll bring it to you. So that one's a little bit more expensive.
It has one of the GPS things.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So it's tricked out.
These newfangled things.
do the kids still say tricked out?
Tricked out.
It's got GPS.
Oh yeah.
All right,
yeah.
cool.
It's wicked awesome.
Yeah.
The truck can come right to you for one. The other thing we do is we call it a field day, where we put the truck in one center location. Sometimes it's in Burbank, sometimes it's in West Hollywood. Sometimes there's different cities that we go to, and we tell people where it's going to be and schedule their appointment throughout the day, and then they know what their scheduled time is, and they show up to start getting their hair and makeup done at that time.
That's really neat.
And then the last package we do is we call it an express day, where we actually go to either actors or agencies or acting schools or anything like that, and we can shoot up to 30 people a day.
Wow.
And shoot one look for people, so they kind of get familiar with the truck.
Right.
And or if they have that one really specific look that they want to get, they can get a good 20-minute session and of that very specific look.
Usually when I come to you for pictures, it's I just want this one thing, and
and then you just need an update really quick.
Yeah. Do you do fitness stuff?
We can't do if you wanted to do push-ups and all kinds of stuff.
But if you wanted to just flex.
Yeah, if you wanted to flex, absolutely, yeah.
So you can set up the truck outside of a gym.
Totally.
And everybody can be inside getting their pump on.
Yeah.
And they can walk out and they can strike a pose.
Absolutely.
That would be cool. And do you always have a makeup and hairstylist on board, or no?
Not always. For the express days, we have a makeup artist that kind of touches you up, but it would take too long to start from scratch.
Okay, yeah.
But with where you come to the truck or the truck comes to you, there is an option for hair and makeup, and it's just another hour on the truck where she does your hair and makeup.
Are those kids setting the house on fire, or?
I think they're
It's very
I think
smoky.
there's a pit fire or something.
Yeah, we call that the frat. It's just
sounds like it. Yeah. Looks like it.
We used to have a band.
That's the band
that played. Yeah.
Are they getting better?
They got older and moved out, so I don't really hear them anymore. But now it's the older kids are living there, and it's just now you see things like the house looks like it's on fire right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I'm sure there's all kinds of shenanigans happening.
Shenanigans.
Yeah.
There's another word.
Yeah.
So the headshot truck.
The headshot truck.
It could pretty much show up wherever you like. There's a photographer on board.
Yeah, all photographers that are usually actors that know what casting directors are looking for, and know how to talk to actors, and are trained by me, so they're really good.
Yeah, you are good.
Oh yeah.
Adam actually shoots our headshots. And
exclusively.
He did some fitness shots for us a few months ago which is actually up on our on RebekahVannatta.com, and it's pretty much everywhere. Anything that I have, Facebook, Instagram, I post his pictures up. They're in our bedroom. They're in our living room. They're in our hallway.
In the bedroom.
In the bedroom.
Ooh.
In the bedroom. You saw that one.
Oh yeah.
Having Adam shoot is
it's fun.
It's fun. It's a treat. I know you don't shoot hardly anymore because you're so busy managing the company and expanding, right? Because I've seen you on the national news.
Yeah, we were on the news.
On the national news?
We were on the front of the LA Times. We've been on like the Insider, like the celebrity scoop show. And then we're expanding this year. We're going to different markets like Austin and New York. We're building a couple more trucks.
Wow.
You're building trucks, training photographers, and getting them out there doing their thing.
Yeah.
So can I buy into this franchise opportunity?
Absolutely.
This is the time, right?
Yeah.
This is the original franchise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This was like one of the few ideas that, I mean, I have a ton of like creative, crazy ideas, and then like I'll go on Google or Safari or whatever and like look to see if someone's done it before. Mm-hmm. And usually they have, and they've done it way better than I could ever have imagined it.
Right.
But this time I had the idea for a mobile photography studio, and I was like, oh man, somebody has to have come up with this too. And no one had done it.
Yeah, never
so I
heard
was
of
like,
it.
oh my God. What am I missing? Why is this like now I have to do it?
Right.
So then
it's your calling.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have jumped on board with you.
Yeah. I got a couple partners in it, and then we did a Kickstarter and raised a bunch of money, and pimped out this like step van that looks like it originally was like a FedEx truck. You know, it looks like one of those moving trucks.
Yeah, and if you check us out on the site or on Instagram or the podcast on YouTube, we're gonna have some images of the headshot truck on the site so that you can take a look at it. It's nice, it's big, it's pink.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Look out for the big pink truck.
The big pink truck.
So do you wanna wrap up?
Actually, I could go a little bit longer.
You wanna go a little bit longer?
Longer and stronger.
Longer and stronger. Yeah.
Longer. Welcome back to Longer and Stronger.
Oh gosh.
I don't even know exactly. Well, because if you think about longer, if you stretch, right, more flexibility, more strength.
Oh,
Longer
sure,
time.
yeah. Take it practical, sure.
Stronger person.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh God.
Well, because
I'm in the car with two guys.
Well, and the thing is, you're in the car with Adam, who's been so well behaved for the last 42 and a half minutes.
Good,
hey, I'm a
Adam.
father now. Hey, I am a father.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta grow up.
I heard it was.
Calm it down, Adam. Come on.
People are gonna start calling you at 10 o'clock at night, and you're gonna be like, "Do you know what time it is?
That's right.
It's 10 o'clock."
Oh man.
Remember those days where you wouldn't get out of bed till 10?
Oh, totally.
Yeah,
Totally.
days are gone.
10 in the morning.
What
10 in the
happened
morning, 11 in the morning. I'd say, man, we'd stay in bed all the way.
What happened? You know, people that sleep a little bit longer tend to have better eating habits, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you want to sleep for 8 hours.
Yeah.
Well, 8 hours.
Right. But Adam goes to bed like at 2 or 3 in the morning.
Right.
Yeah. You're a night owl. And then get up at 11.
But didn't you told me you had this little Spanish saying
El
one
que
time.
madruga, Dios lo ayuda. I still have it.
Yeah.
He who gets
I said it perfectly.
He who gets up early, the Lord helps.
Yeah.
It sounds so much better in Spanish.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. El que madruga, Dios lo ayuda.
That's exactly what I said.
That's right.
It sounds like nothing.
It sounds like nothing. Yeah, well, you're from Texas. Over there, they say the early
we
bird
say-
gets the worm.
Yep,
Yes.
That's it.
You see it? You see it? There it was.
My mama used to tell me that.
Yeah. The early bird gets the worm.
Ugh.
All right, so we'll wrap this up
Yeah, sure.
because I could just see one of our family members going, "It's going too long. It's going too long. Too long and too strong."
Come on, Mama. You can listen to me for another 5 hours. You know you could.
My mom loves listening to me. That's my baby.
Oh, doesn't he sound good? Oh, tune in. You got to hear this.
That's my baby.
You got to hear this. This is my boy.
Yeah.
This is my baby boy.
Yeah, he's in Hollywood. Yeah.
Got to listen to this.
He was cop number 4 on a daytime soap. He's very good. He's very good.
Oh, gosh.
He's got a podcast. 5 subscribers.
Okay, we could go all day, boys.
The best thing to do on your podcast is just make fun of it.
Yeah, well.
Amazing.
It's probably like the only most interesting thing we've talked about. Get to the good part. No, you don't want to listen to anything. Just scroll to the end.
Just listen to them laugh for 5 minutes.
Wait for it. And there you go.
Longer and stronger.
Longer and stronger. That's going to be the name of this podcast. Longer and stronger.
Longer and stronger.
All right, so
I like it. Longer and stronger with Adam Hendershott.
Yes. Because we're getting close to being the longest podcast that we've recorded, and I don't want to break my personal record, which was the self-indulgent Andy podcast, which I think went 49 minutes.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I had a lot to say about me.
Wow.
But what's the name of the website again?
TheHeadshotTruck.com.
Is that 1 T or 2 T's?
Well, the end of the headshot and beginning of truck is two T's together.
Okay.
But headshot is 1 T.
Okay, I wasn't sure because your last name has 2 T's.
It's TheHeadshotTruck.com.
Are you on any of the other social media things, the little picture ones?
Oh, yeah, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook.
At Headshot Truck?
Oh, yeah.
The Headshot Truck.
At Headshot Truck.
Okay. You'll see some pictures of the Headshot Truck posted on our website today, posted on our Instagram. Rebekah's got this cute little shirt on with little pink stripes, so she's going to match nicely. And we're going to tell her to take a nice picture in front of the truck if it's, well, it could be anywhere right now.
Yeah.
Thank you all for listening.
I think you should change your website from Rebekah Natta to longerandStronger.com.
Longer and
We'll
stronger.
think about it.
We'll
think about it.
Yeah, well, if anything, we've got that out of this podcast. And did we leave with anything? Like, did we give you anything of substance? Like, I don't think we said anything.
You made me proclaim a bunch of things.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
it.
You feel good about it?
I
and
feel
we're going to
great.
bring him back in a few months.
I feel great. You're going to check my progress. It'll be awesome.
Okay. And what's that movie you did with where you're the little big bad wolf?
Big Bad Wolf? Yeah, I did a movie called Big Bad Wolf.
Big Bad Wolf. Check that out.
Oh, God.
It's one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah.
He's a little guy. He's got funny ears.
And make sure you guys tune in next week. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Check us out more on RebekahVanetta.com.
Adios.
Adios.
Goodbye.
Okay.
Okay.